Hey folks, so it is another beautiful day here on the homestead. We've got our smudge pot going. We are in the garden. It's going a little too well. All right, so here we are. We are at the 8x6 garden shed build. And where we left off was that we got the foundation done. We've got the bottom rails all set up and ready. And the next thing to do is start putting up the corners. So let's get to it. So there are a few things I've learned already about this shed. Number one, it's pretty flimsy. The second thing is the screws here are pretty flimsy. And then each one of those screws gets one of these washers. So far, all of the holes, the pre-drilled holes, are in the right spot. But I gotta be honest, I mean, I did hear some horror stories about where the holes weren't in the right spot and folks had to drill their own holes. But as of right now, I mean, we only got 3 of the corner panels up, but so far so good. I can also now say that I know why they say 2 people. It's a little windy today, not terribly windy, but getting these corner panels up and holding them in place till I get the first screw in, that was kind of a challenge. I think what we're also going to do is I'm going to put a couple of the screws in the bottom rail to the 4x4 foundation. It seems to be moving around when I'm put any pressure on it, because again, it is very lightweight, and so that it doesn't fall off the foundation, I'm going to go ahead and put some screws in, kind of hold that frame in place. I won't put all of the screws in until I have the building put together, because I want to make sure that I don't restrict any of the movement, the natural movement of the building as I'm putting it together. Far too often I have found that if I try to do all of that and make it rigid and in place, then I may have some problems, down the line, and I don't want to do that. So, all right, we got one more corner piece to do over here, and then I think we're going to get started on the top rails. So, all right, here we go. So if you've got some 1 inch or 2 inch foam board around, cut them up into little sizes like this, duct tape them together. They make a great little stool to kneel on. So now that we have all 4 corner panels in, the next step is to put this front rail here. So one other thing that I have found out, that if you're using a DeWalt drill, if you put it on 1 and on 4, that seems to be the best torque for these screws. So one thing that I've noticed now building this, now that we're on these side rails, is these side rails have no holes in them. In lieu of holes though, what the manufacturer did was basically made this V cutout. And so what happens is these screws are pointed, they go into that screw or into that groove, and then when you screw into there, it uses this groove in lieu of a hole. So if you're building one of these, don't stress out if there's no holes in this, because that groove is there for you. So, oh, and one other thing, again, if you're using the DeWalt, I found that on these, for this groove, 1 and torque setting 12 is perfect. All right, so now that we've got all of our top rails on, it's time to put some walls in. So this is the side rail, and this is what I was talking about with that groove. And so when you're using the your torque driver, right, you're going to use the 12 on this. But on the back here, this back rail all had pre-drilled holes. So you just have to use the 4. Okay, so we are done with all of the walls, and I've got to say, for a garden shed, this is great. This is going to work out perfect for us. We're going to be able to put all kinds of stuff in here that we would normally, well, that has normally been sitting outside. And this way we can keep it all nice and dry. So this next part of the build kind of sucks. So where Jen's at right now, she's got to get these little screws or these little bolts into little holes, and it's just very, very awkward. The next step here that we're working on, now that we've got all of our brackets for the roof, or our rafters, if you will, is the roof. It's a bunch of small panels, and we're just going to put them in it just like we did on the siding here. We're getting it done. All right, well, there it is in all of its glory. We've got the roof on. There was one issue that we had, and it seems to be with one specific panel. This last panel here, they popped the holes in the wrong side. That panel just so happens to be the same as this panel as well. So we're simply going to silicone those. It's not a big deal. So yeah, other than that, the roof went on relatively easy. I think the hardest part was just getting the screws and the washers together. So I think the next step now is the trim and then maybe the ridge cap. So let's go take a look. All right, so we got that done. We got that done. And the next, nope, not the ridge cap. Nope, nope. Looks like we've got some brackets in the front and in the back, some trim maybe. And then, and then the ridge cap. All right, so let's go get these parts and put that together. So we are now inside of the shed, and man, this thing is so cool. I am so tickled that we have this. I can't even describe. And the reason I can't describe it is, number one, where we got it from. Rob, if you're watching this, thank you so very much. We truly appreciate it. Words can't describe, you know, what it meant to us. But on our side, it's because we can finally put all of our garden stuff in some place, and get it out of the rain, and also get it out of the trailer and other places that we have it. Now, it's not, you know, this isn't a massive shed, but this is a perfect size shed for what we need it for. So, all right, I gotta keep building. We're almost done. All right, here we go. Hey folks, so we are done. It is built. It is really awesome. I mean, it's thin, you know, the siding's pretty thin, but you know, it works. I mean, it sits straight, it's square. We did get some rain last night. It does stay dry. And being inside, very happy with the build. I think what we're going to do in the wintertime, because we do have such big snow here, I think I am going to put a 2x4 right here in the center and run it from here down to the ground. I might actually add one here and then one here as well. I just want to make sure that the roof, you know, can hold up to the weight of the snow. So all in all, we're very happy with this. All right, well, we got another project down, so there it is, our new garden shed. And once again, thanks, Rob. All right, folks, we'll see you guys on the next video.